Hi, Stephen T. here with Panic Attack Master Tony Blauer. Welcome to martial art world.
Thanks, man.
All right, you have this the system you're teaching is about panic attack. You have a line of gear here.
Yeah.
How does it all come together? What sort of curriculum do you have going?
Well, what we do is 1982 we created the panic attack, which is a replication of a street attack using dialogue and setup that help replicate the adrenaline dump in the street and understand how perpetrators set us up in advance. The problem with a lot of self-defense training is we work too much physical. We don't realize that very often the fight is won or lost way before a punch is thrown. When predator-prey look at each other, kind of like when Roberto Duran would do the stare down, or someone getting in the ring with Tyson, just is my LC together, is the money in the bank, okay, I'm going to try and survive. And you can't go into a street fight like that. So we came up with this drill to kind of expose people to the chaos and helpfully create some clarity so that they could walk away from a training session going, I understand the street a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, it is quite a thing. There's many martial artists, when they get out there in the street and they're confronted with the life and death situation, they get this adrenaline dump and they don't know what to do with it. They freeze up, they get shaky.
Exactly.
And so you're able to get people to control and channel their adrenaline.
Yeah, I've done about 10 years research on how stress afflicts performance, and it's important information. We have an audio tape out on the psychology of fear, and I think it's an area that a lot of top martial artists are starting to expose their students to. Some people transcend it naturally, but you better know how to do that. If you can't access your system in the street, it didn't matter that you can break boards or fight in a tournament. The street's where it counts. But there was a limitation, which was actually, necessity is the mother of invention, and we came up with gear that we think is going to answer the question. It's a patented system. This is just the mock prototypes, but it's a foam air system, and inside is a special, I don't even know the technical terms, but it's an air system that when it's struck, it displaces and it right away replaces the air. And you can change the pressure and you can change the density of the foam, and there's trauma shields. This is the body armor, and believe it or not, it covers every part from your sternum, the clavicle, the spine. For example, in the back of the helmet here, the flap comes down protecting the spine. This fits into the chest gear. We're going to have a neck piece that rolls out here so you can actually go in for neck strikes. The elbow pads have the foam in them, the shin guards, and the knee protector has foam, stress plate for the knee, so you can actually for once practice street self-defense full speed with realistic impact. You can't go crazy. There's no such a thing as practicing a street fight. It happens once, but this will bring us closer. The reason this kind of looks like Ben-Hur bodyguard is that you can grapple with this. Where a lot of the other stuff is just too big and too bulky, it becomes I'm the human punching bag, which is good for developing power, but there's so many things you can do for power.
They're too bulky.
Yeah.
This looks quite thin and...
It's amazing. We've tried it out. The human body is extremely resilient if you're trained properly, and we're going to have a training tape that actually the slogan will probably be with the equipment is, you may die today, but you won't get hurt. Because the gear really protects all of the major nerve clusters and allows you mobility so that predator and prey can move about freely. The trick when you're doing a simulation is to evaluate the psychological, physical response time and not to play with power. Work on a heavy bag for that.
Great, excellent. Okay, thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Blauer.
Take care.